if you could go back in time, meet your ex again, but like right now, with your knowledge right now, what would you have changed? Let's talk specific tactics, right?
I would never, ever, ever move in with her.
Yeah. She was in the UK, you were in Thailand.
Yeah.
Would you fly her over to Thailand?
Yeah, but I'd have her in a separate place.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
Probably like 40 minutes away.
Yeah. What else? I think
I want to be careful because I'm still unpacking a lot of this shit, even nearly a year later, and I don't want to disrespect her either.
I was just going to say, to be honest, that's probably just the 80-20. You could even just make that one change.
Bro, I swear to God, straight
that's
up.
the big domino. All the other dominoes of like, okay, you know, you keep the passion high, whatever, it would have automatically solved.
Yeah, but also like when I met her, I was just a boy, bro. So like foundationally, the relationship was like built upon this like, I'm a boy, you know? So there's so many small things. But I'm not entirely sure I want to talk about it yet. Obviously, I have so much shit to say. You've heard me say a lot of shit in private conversations. I've been quite careful to like, obviously I skin myself alive usually on camera for YouTube for the sake of like sharing my learning lessons. But with this, honestly, it was such a painful experience for me. And also I want to be careful in respecting her and stuff like that. So it's something that I've just really not touched. I want to heal fully from that, detach my ego from it entirely, which I think I've done, to be honest, but I'm giving it some more time to sort of cook, you know.
Yeah, because
then I'll be comfortable.
It's not been so long for you.
It.
It's only been about 8 months, 9 months.
Yeah, like nearly a year, you know.
Yeah, mine's been like, I split up with my ex like start of last year. So it's been like 1 year, 8 months now. And yeah, I've done a lot of reflection on it. Lots of reflection. I see the sort of glory period of my relationship, the one I posted about a lot, online a lot, was in 2023 when, you know, we moved to Dubai, then Thailand, then I moved back home. And there was this natural, healthy distance between us where I lived at home, she lived in her home. And then she would make this huge effort to drive like 4 hours to come, because she lived near London. I live like northwest, which is fucking huge. Like 4 hours for a lot of people, it's not so much because they live in like America, whatever. In the UK, that's huge. Like in the UK, a 30-minute drive is like a pretty big deal, basically. So she'd drive on like a Saturday, get there for like 2 p.m. She'd bake me things and everything, make me food, whatever, come in. My family really loved her. It was extremely, extremely like, presence, flow state, passionate, so much fun. We were like, that's probably the only time in my life where the way she would laugh used to make me feel like that's how she's my wife. You know, like if I showed you a few clips on my phone where, you know, we're just being silly and I've said something a bit silly, and the way she laughs and she goes, Hamza, it's like we sounded like a married couple, but in like, you know, such feels, you know what I mean, in a sweet way. That was, I think, so healthy. For me, what I realized was, that was amazing. It was healthy, and we were getting better every week, because I bought her this course on like how to be more feminine and whatever by David Data. So she was learning from that as well. She was stepping into the feminine role, and
you're
I was
leading,
doing the same
bro.
thing,
You're leading, you know.
But then you naturally just like, you know, you almost kind of forget. Oh yeah, distance is a big thing, because your girl especially is going to message you saying, oh, you know, I'm so sad. I want to spend more time with you. I don't really like being at home by myself. I want to come be with you. And then we moved in together again, you know, like a Airbnb, 2-3 months, whatever. And the first few weeks, I remember we moved to Scotland. The first few weeks was probably one of the happiest periods of my life, where it was like, oh, you know, me and my wife living with each other. It was so funny. It was leading up to Christmas, because, you know, she didn't work a job, I was working. She spent like weeks preparing for the Christmas. If you saw the pictures of the place we were staying in, bro, it was entirely more decorations I've ever had before for any kind of celebration, which is so sweet, because she's doing that for our special day, right? Yeah. And sharply after Christmas, it went from like the best period we had together to like sharply really fucking shit. But now it's been a month. We've been living in the middle of nowhere. The gym's 50-minute drive away. We start missing sessions. Both of us are losing a bit of self-esteem because, for example, I've not been for a haircut in weeks. She gained a little bit of weight. I did as well, you know, because we're not training and whatever. You're not living in that sort of fast-paced city kind of life, which we used to say was a good thing, because, you know, cities are kind of unhealthy for you because of pollution, whatever. And then very sharply, the relationship started getting like really like limp dick for me, very sharply. I still remember, I won't even tell the story, actually, it's too like private, but like there was a certain moment where I just realized I felt like I was like broken. I wasn't even a man anymore. I was like some weird limp dick, castrated, like, you know, like the middle-aged, it always reminds me, there's this one guy who's like middle-aged, and I think he's married, and he always makes videos about me. I felt kind of like how I imagine he does. Like he watches everything I do, and then he talks about me on YouTube, right? It's like a middle-aged guy he looks like he's sleep deprived, sits in like a shit car, and then talks about me. And I felt like him one day, where I was like, oh yeah, you know, gotta get fit again, whatever. And I was like, me, like Hamza, I've just said the words, I need to get fit again. I got fucking millions of guys to go to the gym, and I've just said the words, I need to get fit again. I need to, like, you know, fix my life or something. I was like, that's what the fuck happened to you? And then for the first time in about a year, I started to be selfish again. And I think that was such a good thing I did, because I was like, wait, stop seeing yourself as a couple. What would you want to do? And it was completely different to the sort of life that she wanted to live. And so when I made the move, I moved back home, and I was like, wait, I'm going to start living this sort of young man's kind of lifestyle. She didn't want to live, you know, like the sort of young people's kind of life. And she kind of accepted it. And she was like, oh no, but you know, we'll stay together. We can still move to like the city or something. But I just couldn't see myself figuring out the way to like have the relationship and not get into that same like castrated kind of energy. I realize now the big domino is living separately. There was, of course, like many other things in the relationship as well. And, you know, if you realize a girl's like not your actual, like, you know, long-term wife because there's something, you know, that you can't sort of look past, then that's definitely going to help undermine the relationship. But when I moved back, this is absolutely no offense to her, but the phrase that I used for myself that I'd say is, I left that sort of cabin we were staying in, moved back home, split up with her, and I quite literally felt like the sort of physical feeling of having like a tumor removed. I was like, oh man, I'm alive again. This is me. Like, I'm an individual person again. And when you live with someone, you kind of lose that sense of separation. You lose that sense of of individuality. And I think from my experience, that's why a lot of relationships go to shit, because you're not a person anymore. You're like a couple. And that makes you just kind of so routine. Your partner is almost like part of this, like, you know, the furniture, they're just kind of there. It's not special to see them anymore.
Oh, so real, bro. So real. I remember when I broke up with my ex, like, I loved her so much. I loved her so much, bro. But I had this moment of realization. Actually, after a bit of separation, like, we were living together, I actually went to Bangkok, and I left her where she was in Koh Samui. After a few days, like, I got there and I was like, I felt this fucking release. I was like, oh my God, I finally feel like myself. I hadn't slept for 9 months without getting into bed and thinking about my own death in a dreadful way. Like, if I was to die now, I'd go to hell, because there's something not right, something's misaligned. And I had two theories. One, like, I should see my family more. Two, this shit ain't right, you know? I got to Bangkok, I felt this fucking release. I felt like I could fucking sleep. Literally just like that, gone. And I was like, I know what it is now. The moment I broke up with her, it felt like, oh man, it felt like a fucking shotgun blast to my chest. Genuinely, it was the hardest thing I've ever done, because I loved her so fucking much, but I fucking cooked the relationship to a point of absolutely no return. And I knew if I continued, I fought for 9 months trying to figure it out. 9 months, just hell, pure hell. I knew if I continued, I would go to fucking hell, bro. So I fucking broke up with her. And it genuinely, it's like someone literally put a fucking shotgun to my chest and just pulled the trigger. I was a fucking mess. I remember I was in my condo in Bangkok, on my fucking knees, just weeping, crying to God, oh my fucking God, Jesus Christ, like, thinking of fucking jumping off the balcony, all sorts. And I called my friend Yanis, just in absolute fucking hysterics. It's like, what the fuck, bro, I'm on my way around. genuinely just like the most fucking painful fucking experience of my life. But it was such a weird juxtaposition, because while it was so fucking painful, because I genuinely bared my heart and soul to this girl, there was also a fucking release. Like you said, like a tumor had been removed. Not that she's the tumor, but the relationship was just so not working. Like, and it's completely and utterly my fault. Take 100% accountability for it.
Yeah.
But oh my God, bro, it was just the roughest, like a release, but also like, Jesus, man, like, I didn't know for a while, like afterwards, if I had done the right thing as well. It kind of sent me a bit fucking bonkers for a few months. And I just behaved like a psycho, like a crazy person, you know. I'm pretty fucked up with shit like that. So like, I fall back on like a few vices. Like I started doing some fucking drugs, going out, banging a bunch of fucking broken people, because I was broken, so that's what I got. You know, I attracted that. Fucked up, man. You know. Fucked
Yeah, it's
up.
so interesting, because it's not even about the girl.
Nah, like I say, bro, I honestly think like you'll meet a woman numerous times in your life who is potentially your wife. The question is, are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Are you fucking ready for it? And that experience now, I'm so much closer to being ready for it. But only after that experience, which is why if you're a fucking virgin and you're saying like, oh, don't talk to women, you're a dickhead. Don't subscribe to that bullshit ideology. Don't subscribe to that like ego posturing, oh, I'm too busy. Bro, you are robbing yourself of so much experience towards becoming like a total man of a masculine excellence. You don't want to be the guy who's made a bunch of money but doesn't have a fucking clue how to carry a relationship.
Yeah.
You really don't. Yeah. I'm glad that happened then, when I'm still young, rather than in 10 years' time when I've already got kids and it's all fucked up.
Yeah, like most couples are.
Yeah. The clip you just watched is from my podcast, Cigar Sundays. Go ahead and press here to watch the full episode. Take care.